Hello, dear students. We are going to have the second session of our topic maxima and minima. In today's session, I will be telling you the working rules for local and absolute maxima and minima. Now, after attending this session, students, you will be able to find the points of local maxima and local minima, also local maximum and local minimum value of functions at these points by using first derivative test. You will also be able to find the points of local maxima and local minima and local maximum and local minimum values of functions of at these points by using second derivative test. And finally, you will also be able to find the points of absolute maxima and absolute minima, also absolute maximum and minimum values of these functions at these points of absolute maxima and minima. So now we have discussed that if a function is having a local maxima or local minima at a point, then the value of its derivative at that particular point is equal to 0. Now let me discuss with you the working rule for solving the questions by using first derivative test. Now what are the steps you have to follow while you check whether a function is having a local maxima or local minima at a particular point? First of all, you have to differentiate that function with respect to x or whatever variable is given in that function and factorize it. This is important because if you make its factors, the question becomes very simple. Now second step is you just put f dash x equal to 0 and you will be getting an equation. So you solve that equation and find the values of x, and those points will be critical points, that is turning points of the graph of the function. Now let me suppose that there are I have taken only 3 values, but these dots means कि values can vary from 1 value, 2 value, 3, 4. It depends upon the formation of function, that how many values you obtain. So let me suppose that x is equal to abc, so on. So I am taking the first value, that is I will check the first value of x for the local maxima or local minima. Now what will we do? We will just find f dash slightly less than a. That means we will find value of derivative on the left side of number a. That is finding the value of f dash x at a point which is slightly less than a. Just a very small distance I have to take on left side, and I will evaluate f dash at that point. Similarly, I will evaluate in next step f derivative, f value of f dash for a number which is slightly greater than a. That is, find value of f dash x at a point slightly greater than a. Now let me discuss with you the observation. Then what will happen? I have found 2 values of derivative, one on the left side of a and one on the right side of the a. Now if f dash x changes sign from positive to negative, changes sign from positive to negative means on left side function is increasing but on right side function is decreasing, which shows that a is point of local maxima. But if the sign changes from negative to positive, that is the function will decrease on left side of a but will increase on right side of a, then a is point of local minima. And now what will happen if derivatives sign does not change? That is, on left side it is positive, on right side it is positive, or on left side it is negative and on right side also it is negative. Then what will happen? Then it is neither a point of local maxima nor a point of local minima, and in that case that point is called point of inflection. Now you have to note that here the A point will be called as point of, not in this particular third part. I am just telling you कि whatever will happen, A point will be called as the point of maxima or minima, and f of A will be local maximum or minimum value of the function. Right, now you have decided about A, that whether it is point of maxima or minima. Now I will take another second value of x, that is B. If we are three values, then we have to test for each value that if that is the point of maxima or minima. So students, now let us discuss one example of first derivative test. So we have to find all the points of local maxima and local minima of the function fx is equal to x cube minus 3x plus 3. So for applying the first derivative test, we will differentiate this function with respect to x. So the derivative will be 3x squared minus 3. So as I told you in the working rule, now we have to factorize it. So take 3 as common and we will be getting 3 into x plus 1 into x minus 1. So for finding the critical points, put f dash x is equal to 0, which gives me 3 into x plus 1 into x minus 1 is equal to 0, which implies value of x is minus 1 and 1. Now what we will do in next step, we will consider these two values one by one. So take x is equal to minus 1. Now consider x less than minus 1 slightly. And I will put this value, that is, you can say we will consider value of x on left side of minus 1. So if I take the help of a number line, so if this is my 0, this is minus 1, I am taking this side, left side of minus 1. So now what will be f dash x less than minus 1? This will be equal to 3 into, so if I put a number which is less than minus 1 in this expression, so this expression will be negative, and similarly this expression will also be negative. So my final result will be positive. So now I will consider x greater than minus 1 slightly. That is, I will take value of x on right side of minus 1. That is, now I am taking the value here on right side of minus 1, but very close to minus 1. So now what will be f dash x greater than minus 1? This will be equal to 3 into, now if I put a number here which is greater than minus 1, so this quantity will be positive, but because it is a very small, it is very close to minus 1, so this quantity will remain negative. So my final result will be negative. So students, you can clearly see that now my derivative is shifting sign from positive to negative, which means therefore x is equal to minus 1 is point of local maxima. And local maximum value is f of minus 1, which I will put in equation number 1. So I will get minus 1 whole cube, then it is minus 3 into minus 1 plus 3, which gives me the result minus 1 plus 3, which is equal to 5. So this is the maximum value of the given function. Now let us consider the second value, that is x is equal to 1. Now in the same way I will take x less than 1 slightly, that is on left side of 1. I will put a value from left side of 1 but very close to 1 in my derivative. So now this quantity will be positive, and because it is less than 1, the number is actually less than 1, so this quantity will be negative. So my final result of f derivative will be a negative quantity. Now I will consider x greater than 1 slightly, that is on right side of 1. So from number line I will put a number greater than 1 but very close to 1. So now what is f dash x greater than 1? So I will put the value. So the first factor will be positive, because if a number is very close to 1 and greater than 1, it will be a positive number, right? So it is positive plus 1 is a positive quantity. So again I will put a number greater than 1 in this expression. Again I will getting a positive number. So the finally derivative will be a positive quantity. So now students, you can see that my derivative is shifting sign from negative to positive. That is, if it is on the left side of 1, it is negative, but when it goes to right side of 1, it is positive. So therefore by first derivative test, x is equal to 1 is the point of local minima. And what will be the local minimum value of the function? Minimum value of function, it will be f of 1. So substituting the value, it will be 1 cube minus 3 into 1 plus 3, which is equal to 1 minus 3 plus 3, which is equal to 1. So this is my point of local minima and this is the minimum value. Now there is another test which is called second derivative test for checking whether a given number is a point of local maxima or minima. So let me discuss with you the working rule or the steps which we have to follow for doing a question by using second derivative test. So now in this test, the first 2-3 steps are exactly same as first derivative test. So first of all, we will find derivative of the function by differentiating y is equal to fx with respect to x, and we will factorize it. This is important. You make the factors of the derivative. Now in second step, what we do, we put f dash x is equal to 0 for finding the critical points. Now let me suppose my critical points are x is equal to a, b, c, so on. So now what is the next step in second derivative test? Now because its name suggests that we have to find the second derivative of the function also. So now I will find f double dash x by differentiating. Now what will I differentiate? I will differentiate f dash x with respect to x for finding the second derivative. Now once we find the second derivative, then we will consider these value one by one, and we will put these values in second derivative. So take x is equal to a. Now find f double dash a. Right. Now what is the observation? If this double derivative at the point a is positive, then x equal to a is point of local minima. But if double derivative at this point a is negative, then x is equal to a is called point of local maxima. And what will happen if double derivative becomes 0? That is, if it is neither positive nor negative. There are many questions in which this situation arises, that my double derivative becomes 0 when I put the value as x is equal to a. Then we say that the second derivative test fails, and then we check that number a by using the first derivative again. That means we will not be required to solve whole of the question by using first derivative test. Just we will check that particular number at which the double derivative is 0 by using first derivative test, and then we will decide whether it is point of local maxima, minima, or is it point of inflection. Now here note that a is the point of maxima or minima, and f of a is the maximum or the minimum value of the function. And then I will take next value of x, b, then I will take next value, and so on till all the values are tested for local maxima or minima. Dear students, I am going to discuss with you some of the questions of second derivative test. Now I have chosen question number third part of exercise 6.5. So the question is, find the local maxima and local minima of fx is equal to sin x plus cos x, where x lies between 0 to pi by 2. Also find the maximum and minimum values. Now dear students, you must be remembering that what we did in the second derivative test. First of all, we will differentiate our given function. So differentiating one with respect to x, it will be cos x minus sin x. It will be cos x minus sin x. Now I will put f dash x is equal to 0. I mark this as 2 for finding the critical points. So cos x minus sin x will be equal to 0, which implies cos x is equal to sin x. Now dividing both sides by cos x, I will be getting 1 is equal to tangent x, or it may be written as tangent x is equal to 1. Now dear students, you can see that tangent x is positive quantity, so x will either lie in the first quadrant or in the third quadrant. But can you see what is my given domain of this question? The given domain is only first quadrant, 0 to pi by 2. So I will be getting only one value of tangent, and that is pi by of x, that is pi by 4. As because I can write here the reason, because 0 is less than x is less than pi by 2. So no need of considering the value that lies in the third quadrant. Right. Now I have obtained value of x, that is, this is my critical point. Now in case of second derivative, we will find double derivative of our fx. So for this I am differentiating expression second with respect to x. So what is f double dash x? This will be minus sin x, derivative of cos x is minus sin x, minus derivative of sin x is cos x. So let me find the double derivative at the point x is equal to pi by 4. So it is taking minus as common. Sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4. So which will be equal to, value of sin pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. Value of cos pi by 4 is 1 by 2. It is minus 2 root 2, which is clearly a negative quantity. So do you remember the steps of second derivative? That if double derivative is negative, what will happen? So therefore my function fx has absolute has local maximum value at x is equal to pi by 4. If double derivative is negative, it is the point of local maxima. But what was my question? Yes, I have found the local maxima. ठीक है. Now let me also find the maximum value. So what is the maximum value? Maximum value will be f of pi by 4, which is equal to sine pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4, which is equal to 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2, which is 2 upon root 2, which can be written as root 2. So in this case, there is only one maximum local maximum value of the function, and there is no minimum value. Now let us consider one more question of second derivative test. This is question number 3rd, 5th part, exercise 6.5. I have chosen an algebraic function this time. The previous question was of trigonometric function. This is find the local maxima or minima of the function fx is equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 9x plus 15. So I will mark this as function as first result, first equation. Now differentiating fx both sides with respect to x. So what is f dash x? It is 3x square minus 12x plus 9. I must factorize this expression because I have already told you factorization makes our calculation simple. So taking 3 common, x square minus 4x plus 3. So by splitting the middle term and making factors, I will get the result that this is equal to 3 into x minus 3 into x minus 1. I will mark the first derivative as result number 2. Now for finding the critical point, I have to put f dash x as 0. So f dash x is equal to 0 implies 3 into x minus 3 into x minus 1 is equal to 0, which gives me the result that either x is equal to 3 or x will be equal to 1. Now I have obtained 2 critical points in this question. For applying the second derivative test, I have to find the double derivative of fx also. For this, I will differentiate 2 with respect to x. So what will be my double derivative? So double derivative will be, it will be 6x minus 12. So first of all, I will put 3 in this expression. So what is f double dash 3? This will be equal to 6 into 3 minus 12, 18 minus 12, which gives me 6, and I can see that this is a positive quantity. So let me find f double dash at 1 also. Now what will be this? 6 into 1 minus 12, which will give me the result as 6 minus 12 is equal to minus 6, which is negative. So you can see, students, that at x is equal to 3, derivative is positive. So that means x is equal to 3 is point of local minima and local minimum value of the function is local minimum value of function is f of 3, which will be obtained by substituting x is equal to 3 in result number 1. So it is 3 cube minus 6 into 9 plus 9 into 3 plus 15, which gives me 27 minus 54 plus 27 plus 15, and which will be equal to 15. Because what is 27 plus 27? 54. 54 minus 54 is 0. So 15 is my local minimum value. And Now again I can see that this x equal to 1 is giving me negative value of double derivative, which means that x is equal to 1 is point of local maxima, sorry, because when double derivative is negative, this is the point of local maxima. And what will be my local maximum value? And local maximum value of function is f of 1, which will be equal to, by substituting x is equal to 1 in equation number 1, plus 9 into 1 plus 15. It is 1 minus 6 plus 9 plus 15, which will give me the result. It is 19. So students, this completes my equation. So maximum value of the function is 19 and minimum value is 15. Now we have already discussed the concept of absolute maxima and minima. I am going to tell you the working rule with which we can solve the questions of absolute maxima and minima. So if we are given a function y is equal to fx defined on closed interval AB, then the first step is, actually the first three steps are same as we did in first derivative test and second derivative test of local minima and maxima. So first of all we will find f dash x by differentiating y is equal to fx with respect to x, and then we will factorize it. Then we put f dash x is equal to 0 for finding the critical points, and then we obtain the values of x. Suppose that we have got the value c1, c2, c3, so on. Now what we will do, now out of these values I will consider only those values which will belong to my given interval, that is only that values will be considered which belong to our domain mentioned in the question. Right. So let me suppose that there are two values belonging to this. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 3. But in explaining this working rule, I am taking two values. Right. Now what will I do? Now there is no need of finding second derivative or testing by putting in the first derivative. No. In absolute maxima minima, what we do? We put these value in function directly. Now, which values to put? These two values which are belonging to this interval, and also the extreme, the end points of this closed interval, I will also consider for substituting in this. So that means I have got four values now. One is A, then C1, C2, then B. That means absolute maxima or minima can occur at endpoints of the interval also. So I will put these four values in the function. Remember, I have to put the values in function. Now finding values of fx at the points A, C1, C2, Cb, and then simply just identify. When you will obtain the values of these four functions, these four expressions, then you simply identify the largest of these and smallest of these. The largest will be called as the absolute maximum value and the smallest will be called as the absolute minimum value. So students, I am going to discuss with you one or two questions of absolute maxima minima. Only then the concept will be clear to you. Rule of finding the absolute maxima and absolute minima of a function. Now let us discuss one or two questions of absolute maxima minima. So this is question number 5th, the third part, exercise 6.5. So the question is like this: we have to find the absolute maxima and minima and absolute minimum values of the function fx is equal to 4x minus half x square, where x belongs to minus 2, 9 by 2. So I have marked our function as 1, equation number 1. So differentiate this with respect to x. I will be getting 4 minus, because 4 is constant and derivative of x is 1. It is half into 2x. which gives me the result 4 minus x. So for finding the critical points, I will put f dash x as 0, which gives me 4 minus x is equal to 0, which implies x is equal to 4, and which, dear children, clearly belongs to my interval minus 2 to 9 by 2. Now that means I have to check the 3 points for absolute maxima and minima, that is minus 2, 4 and 9 by 2. So for finding absolute maxima or minima, I will simply put these values in my given function. So first of all, I will find out f of minus 2, which is 4 into minus 2 minus half into minus 2 square, which will be equal to minus 8 minus half into 4, which is minus 8 minus 2, which is equal to minus 10. Now my next value is 4. So now let us find f of 4. So what is f of 4? Substitute x is equal to 4 in equation number 1. So 4 into 4 minus half into 4 square, which is equal to 16 minus half into 16, which is equal to 16 minus 8, which is equal to 8. And finally, I will find value of the function at x is equal to 9 by 2. So again putting x is equal to 9 by 2 in expression first. So it is 4 into 9 by 2 minus half into 9 by 2 square, which gives me the result. It is 18, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 into 9 is 18. Half into 81 by 4, which is 18 minus, it is 81 upon 8, which gives me the result 144 minus 81 upon 8, which is equal to 63 by 8. And students, if I convert it into decimal, it will be approximately equal to 7.87. So now out of these 3 values, I have to check which is the largest value and which is the smallest value. So this is very much clear that this is the smallest value and obviously this is the largest value. So in my question, I have to just find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum values. So therefore, absolute maximum value is 8 and absolute minimum value is minus 10. So students, these are the steps for finding the absolute maxima and minima. So students, I am going to discuss with you one more question of absolute maxima and minima. I have chosen question number 14th of miscellaneous exercise as it is an important question, and I have particularly chosen the question which involves trigonometric functions. So the question is like this: find the absolute maximum and minimum value of the function fx is equal to cos square x plus sin x, x belonging to the interval 0 to pi. So now function is fx is equal to cos square x plus sin x. So in first step, I have to differentiate it with respect to x. So what will be its derivative? It will be 2 cos x into, by chain rule, derivative of cos x will be multiplied, that is minus sin x, plus derivative of sin x is cos x, which will be equal to minus 2 cos x into sin x plus cos x, which is equal to, by taking cos x as common, so cos x has been taken as common, so here it will be 1, then it is negative, then it is 2 sin x. I have written this term at first place and this term at second place. Now for critical points, I will put f dash x is equal to 0, which implies cos x into 1 minus 2 sin x is equal to 0, which implies either cos x is 0 or 1 minus 2 sin x is equal to 0. So first of all, I am considering cos x is equal to 0. Now cos x is equal to 0 implies x is equal to pi by 2. So now here x will obtain only one value because x belongs to 0 to pi. Now cos x is 0. There will be only one value in this interval 0 to pi, that is x is equal to 90 degrees, where cos x will be 0. Now this is my first value. This is my first critical point. Now let us consider the second case, 1 minus 2 sin x is equal to 0, which gives me the result that sin x is equal to 1 upon 2. Now here sin x is a positive quantity, sin x is equal to half, and my x belongs to 0 to pi. That means x will lie both in the first quadrant and second quadrant because sin x is positive. So what will be the value of sin x then? It can be written as sin pi by 6 and also sin pi minus pi by 6. This value will lie in first quadrant and this value will lie in the second quadrant. That is, x will be equal to pi by 6, and after simplifying it, x will be equal to 5 pi by 6. And we can give the reason because sin x is positive. So therefore x lies in first as well as second quadrant, because what is my interval? Interval is 0 to pi. So that means in total now I have obtained total 3 values of x. That is, x is equal to, I am writing them in ascending order. First of all pi by 6, then I will write pi by 2, then I will write 5 pi by 6. That is, if I write them in degrees, it is 30 degree, then it is 90 degrees, then it is 150 degree. So let us check whether they belong to our closed interval or not. Yes, they belong, because what is my closed interval? It is 0 to pi. That means now I will check absolute maxima or minima in total 5 points. That is 3 critical points and 2 endpoints of the closed interval. So now we have 5 values of x for which we are going to check which are of these are the point of absolute maxima and minima. Now the function is given to be this. So now first of all let us find f of 0. So that means this is cos square 0 plus sine 0. Now what is cos 0? It is 1. So it is 1 square plus 0, which gives me 1. Now next I will find f of pi by 6. So cos square pi by 6 plus sine pi by 6. So now what is the value of cos pi by 6? It is root 3 by 2. So it is root 3 by 2 square. And what is sine pi by 6? It is half. So which gives me the result 3 by 4 plus half, which will be equal to, by taking 4 as LCM, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 upon 4. Now next is f of pi by 2. So it is cos square pi by 2 plus sine pi by 2. So now what is cos 90? It is 0. And what is sine 90? It is 1. So this is again 1. Now let me find f of 5 pi by 6. It will be cos square 5 pi by 6 plus sine 5 pi by 6. Now this is equal to cos square. This will be pi minus pi by 6 plus sine pi minus pi by 6. So students, this will be equal to cos square pi by 6 plus sine pi by 6. This I have done by using formula of allied angles. That is, cos 180 minus theta is always equal to, actually this should be equal to, it is minus, it is actually minus square. because what is cos 180 minus theta? It is minus cos pi by 6. So student, it is minus cos pi by 6 whole square, which gives me the result. Now minus whole square means it is positive. So it is cos square pi by 6 plus sine pi by 6, which will give me 3 by 4 plus half, which is equal to 5 by 4. Now what is f of pi? Now f of pi will be equal to cos square pi plus sine pi. Now I should cut from here and should write here f of pi. Now what is cos pi? It is minus 1 square. What is sine pi? 0, which is again equal to 1. So you can see, children, that in this question we have obtained only two values. At 0, function value of function is 1. Again at pi by 2, value of function is 1. And at pi again, value of function is 1. And second value is 5 by 4. So it is very much obvious that 1 will be the absolute minima and 5 upon 4 will be the absolute maximum value. So therefore, absolute maximum value is 5 upon 4 and absolute minimum value is 1. Hello dear students, as we have almost reached at the end of this session, so I will be giving you some questions for practice. But before giving you the assignment, let us have a quick view of the concepts we have studied today. So in today's session, we have studied that according to the first derivative test, if f dash x changes a sign from positive to negative in the neighborhood of the point x is equal to c, then x is equal to c is the point of local maxima and fc is called local maximum value of the function. But if f dash x changes sign from negative to positive in the neighborhood of the point x is equal to c, then the point is called point of local minima and fc is called the local minimum value of fx. And according to the second derivative test, if f double dash c is positive, that is double derivative at the point x is equal to c is positive, then x is equal to c is the point of local maxima. It is the point of local minima and fc is called the local minimum value of fx. And if f dash c is negative, then x is equal to c is the point of local maxima and fc is called the local maximum value of the function fx. And we have also studied that point x is equal to c is the point of absolute maxima if the function fx has the largest value at this point, and it is the point of absolute minima if the function fx has the smallest value at this point. So students, we have completed the topic of first derivative test and second derivative test of local maxima and minima, and also we have completed finding the absolute maximum and minimum values of a function. So children, I am giving you two questions with 5 parts and 4 parts respectively for your practice. So beta, in question number 1, as you have to find the local maxima and local minima, you can use any of the test. That means you can use first derivative test as well as you can use second derivative test. So in whatever test you feel comfortable, complete these questions by using that method only. But I will recommend do these questions by second derivative test. Thank you and have a nice day.